Hi, it's Rowan Ravenwolf with a book review of Eastern Body, Western Mind. Let's jump into it. All right, I'm really excited about this book. This has been a really great one, and we just finished it for Witchy Book Club that I host. So once a month, I do host a Witchy Book Club. And some of the books I've read before, some of them it's a first time. Sometimes I'll review them here, sometimes I won't. So, but today I am reviewing Eastern Body, Western Mind. This is by Anodea Judith. All right. This like 5 stars just doesn't even cut it. Like I've said before in the past, I like tab things when it's important and so I can go back to it. And I literally we started reading it for Witchy Book Club and I was like, oh my gosh, because this one is it's not like just read and go. You really do need to take notes, especially if you want to like use the principles and techniques and philosophy that's in here. So I ended up reading it once through and then read it the second time doing notes. So I could have like really great notes on this. So the first thing I want to say, this book is about the chakras. It is combining the chakra principles and philosophies with Western philosophy and then the Eastern body. So it's really a great balance. And and I'm probably killing her name, but Anodea Judith, she is, I want to say she's a psychologist. Let's see. I want to make sure I get it right. Yes, she has a PhD in health and human services and a master's degree in clinical psychology. So she's really applied a lot of principles, especially principles by Carl Jung in here. So if you're really into like shadow work and Carl, who kind of goes hand in hand with the metaphysics community, this book will resonate with you. So what I loved about this is as I'm reading it, I'm like, oh my gosh, like everything was an eye opener for me. So it is going into the chakras. And I will say this is the most comprehensive book on chakras that I have read. And I have read quite a few. I was actually really surprised that my Reiki masters didn't tell me about this book. And I know for sure one of them didn't read it, and the other one I haven't reached out to, but um, this book is groundbreaking. Just, it's absolutely groundbreaking. And it's not like it's a brand new book, it's been out for a while. So I was like, oh my gosh, how did I not know about this book? Um, I will definitely like my past students, my past Reiki students, I've reached out to most of them and told them, you need to read this book. You need to get this book. Any current Reiki students, they will be told that this is like critical for them going forward. So, from a healing aspect, if you are healing yourself or if you do plan on going into Reiki and you're really interested in Reiki, and I don't care what branch you go into, if you're doing Yasui Reiki, Blue Lotus Reiki, Celtic Reiki, Sasekim Sahu Reiki, which I happen to teach, um, any different, because there's a lot of Reikis out there. This is going to help you because Reiki and hand and healing of hands really do go hand in hand. And we typically are healing the chakras and helping clients or ourselves open up our chakras. So it's really, really super important. So I want to I'm going to not like give the whole book away, but I want to give like quite a bit of away. And I think actually, yeah, you know what? Okay. So there are charts in here like all over the place. So here's just one of the charts. So this is what is so cool. So, and some of this actually is also Freud in here too. So there's like a lot of psychology in here. This is why it's heavy duty because you really have to use your mind when you read this. And it's just going to open up so many aspects. If you're doing shadow work, this definitely, I would read this book before you start your shadow work. If you're already doing shadow work, read this book and then do your shadow work going forward. It's one of those, it's like, oh, I wish I had this when I started my shadow work too. So, It literally, like, this chart is one of the first charts in the book, and it goes over each chakra. It gives you the name and the location of the chakra, and it gives you the central issues. It also is going to tell you like your goals for your health, and the developmental stage. So, like for chakra one, the developmental stage is while you are in the womb up to 12 old, 12 months. So, what is really cool about this is that when you think back, if you're like, oh, like my mom said this happened while I was in the womb, and you're like, oh, I have a deficiency in chakra one, you're going to know where that comes from. So, it does get into a lot of this. It does talk about like your inner demon, for chakra one is fear. The element related to it is earth, because we know that we want to ground. When we ground, we are opening up our root chakra. So, like the charts are so fabulous. There's lots of exercises in here. This is hands down. If you are doing any healing, if you are a sound healer, a crystal healer, a Reiki master, a Reiki practitioner, or even if you just have like Reiki 1 for yourself, where you're giving yourself Reiki 1, that would be Yasui Reiki. Any healing, you're definitely going to want this book. All right. It is excellent, excellent, excellent. So I learned so much from this. And hands down, like out of all the other chakra books I've read, this is the most comprehensive. There's a lot. So it's like reading a college textbook. So be prepared for that, because you are going to be using your mind. So which is really great, because we want to use our minds, we want to grow, and it's going to help you actually also grow spiritually. So this is fabulous. I mean, on a scale of 1 to 5, I give it 100. So, like, this is hands down one of the best books that I've read. So if you are looking for a book on chakras, if you're doing any healing at all, this is really going to help you. Even if you're like, well, I don't want to work with chakras, you'll be like, oh, I guess I do want to work with chakras, because this actually is really delving deep. And especially if you're doing shadow work, because like as I'm going through, I'm like, oh, this will help next time I see this client. This is going to help me. This is like literally, it was like, oh my gosh, like so much. So definitely go pick this up and read it, because you are going to absolutely love this book. So let me know your thoughts if you've read this in the comments below. And as always, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button or follow button, depending on where you're at. And don't forget, give me a thumbs up or give me a cute little heart so that you know that you like this, and I'll make sure to do more book reviews for you. As always, blessed to be, and namaste.